What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. Welcome back if you have been here before. We are here to give out a new show. We're going to give it a try. This show is another Netflix show. It's called Calabasas Confidential. We're going to be reviewing the series premiere, which is season 1, episode 1, titled Calabasas Coded. Calabasas, for those who do not know, is an area in Southern California in the valley near the, we'll say, the more upscale and elite area codes and zip codes of LA. Most famous likely these days for the Kardashian, but it's always been a place of wealth. A lot of celebrities live there. So this is a series about pretty much Nepo babies, a little bit of nepotism, kids that have parents that are successful, parents that are rich, and what their life is like. It's kind of giving Laguna Beach mixed in with the hills, mixed in with today. So I'm going to give it a try. Depending on how the views go, I'll keep doing it. If not, I'll replace it with something different. But we're going to start with Nicole. Nicole is one of the first people we meet. She is, at first she paints herself as shy. And we learn that she's looking to move back to Calabasas. We also get to meet Suede. Suede is a blonde young lady, very thin. Also shy. She says she went to high school online. Suede and Nicole are close. They are both friends. They are also both influencers. And we see them meet with a young lady named Gemma, who seems to be a lot. Gemma is a lot. So they all went to high school together, I guess Calabasas High. And they all went to high school together during a time that like the lockdown happened with COVID. So I guess it interrupted their senior year. There was a lot of things and issues that were never like settled and things of that nature. So essentially, these ladies are trying to get the friend group back together. Now, they're talking about some other cast members on the show. And Gemma is telling us about a guy named Dylan, who she's kind of concerned about and debating on if she wants to invite to this like little get together she's planning for everybody at the school. And apparently Dylan is a guy that, well, she tells us that she dated him. She paints him out to be like almost a boyfriend. But I guess in high school, she lost her virginity to him. When this happened, she bled. And so I guess the people around school started calling her Bloody Mary because he told all of these people about that. For whatever reason, a young lady named Emma, who is also a part of this cast, is mentioned. I guess Emma is now some form of a love interest for Dylan. And Gemma is telling us that this girl is a 304. And I'm kind of looking like, you guys have no reason but to call this girl Emma a 304, other than the fact that she's willing to deal with your ex who did you dirty. Why do you care? And why are you getting low-key jealous over a guy that kissed and told about you like losing your virginity? I can imagine that to be traumatic. I don't know if that's how kids is doing stuff today, but that's actually insane. Like, I cannot understand why anybody would want to do that. But Gemma, Suede, and I'm still learning these girls' names, y'all, and Nicole are going to be planning a get-together. It's going to be at Gemma's house. It's for everybody to get together. For whatever reason, Gemma seems to think that her and Dylan could end up hooking up or making out. She says that's probable. And even though I have my opinions, obviously, from what I know to be happening in the episode, I'm kind of annoyed with her because if a boy went and have people teasing me about losing my virginity, something so natural that you can't really control, I wouldn't hook up with you. There'd be no makeout. Like, where's your confidence, Gemma? Because it doesn't even make sense. But we finally get to meet Dylan in another scene. And we get to meet Dylan because he's at Emma's house. We learn that Emma's family is also Armenian, kind of like the Kardashians, and they've been a big deal. She made sure to let us know that her family was there before the Kardashians. And I guess her family's a really big deal. She comes from great money. Now, Dylan, he went to Calabasas High. This is the Dylan that we saw Gemma talking about. But he, I guess, has been working on a ranch in Malibu. Him and Emma hook up, but there's no strings attached. But they also seem to have like a really good friendship, which tells me it might be more than a hookup. But they probably don't want to admit that for whatever odd reason. But we learn a little bit about Dylan. He talks to Emma. I guess he's changed himself. He used to be like a party boy and the drugs, kind of lost. He says he's gotten sober. So he is not someone who's doing drugs or drinking in current time. He says that's not going to stop him, no, because he is still fun. And I guess working on the ranch, riding horses, things like that, he found to be therapeutic. So I'm like, you say that there's no strings attached in this hookup, but you're telling her all of these things about your feelings and your sobriety. Like, that's not something you tell to somebody you just hooking up with. But these people are very young. So I'm going to give them some type of grace because people my age don't do this. But, good for Dylan. I'm all for his sobriety. Now, Dylan is messy because Emma finds out that Dylan told Gemma that the two of them were hooking up. And I'm kind of like, why would you tell Gemma that unless you want to make her jealous? That's weird. And obviously Dylan has a problem kissing and telling, which also kind of substantiated a lot of what Gemma was saying about him. But I'm looking like, oh Lord, this group is just terribly messy. But I'm happy he's sober. I'm happy he's sober. We then get to meet some more of the cast members. We meet Jody, who is the sister of Jordan Woods. We meet Emily, who is younger, went to the high school with them, also grew up rich. And we get to meet Kimora, who used to date Hersey, who is the son of Master P and the brother of Lil Romeo, or Romeo, whatever the hell he calls himself now. Now, there's a lot because Kimora is Hersey's ex. I guess they dated when they were very young, 15, 16. That's how you know these kids is hella young. You talking about an ex for 15. He don't count. He don't count. I'm sorry. But Emily and Kimora have been best friends for a really long time. They're extremely close. It looks like Jody is really close to them as well. She's also close to Hersey. And I guess word on the curb is that Hersey may be interested in talking to Emily, which is messy because Emily is the best friend of his ex-girlfriend, like childhood best friend. So I do find it to be a little bit strange, but personally, the way I'm thinking, without even getting too far into the storyline, if this is somebody that your best friend from childhood dated, talking to him is kind of weird. Talking to them is weird. Now, if it was like a dating where they may not have been intimate, okay, whatever. But if they've been intimate in any way, in my opinion, that's weird. And Emily is moving funny. And Emily was very tight-lipped. She didn't want to say too much. She just made it seem like she's not interested in Hersey and could never date him. But I'm looking at it like this is a mess. Preston is also another gentleman who was there, who was part of the cast, but he didn't, no shade to Preston, he didn't give a lot, so I don't have much to say on him. But we're going to move into the next scene, which was Emma, Nicole, and Rain. They all go to play. It looked like they were playing pickleball, but really they were standing around the tennis skirts talking and balancing a ball. They weren't actually working out. But we learned that Rain is the daughter of Bret Michaels, our VH1 day ones. If you remember Flavor of Love, you should remember Rock of Love. Outside of that, if you are just a fan of rock, the group Poison, they're very popular. Bret Michaels is a member of that group. His daughter, Rain, is on the show. She does seem to be a lot older than most of the cast, but still in that age range where she can kind of blend. But we see Nicole is messy because we just saw Nicole in the opening scene talking to Gemma about everything that has to do with Dylan and Emma. And now Nicole is telling Emma that Gemma said that she was 304. She's telling Emma that Gemma said all of these things about Dylan and that she felt like Emma was boy crazy. And Nicole literally said verbatim to Emma that she feels like Gemma has a vendetta against her just off the strength of the fact that she's dating Dylan. I think that was messy. Young, old, I don't care the age. She should have known that was messy. I'm looking at Nicole like, what is your angle? What is your goal in telling her this? Because all you're doing is stirring the pot. You're not solving shit. If you wanted to solve shit, you would have said something like that, but you haven't. So I'm looking, I said, okay, Nicole, give us a show. I'm going to let it go because we need a show. We're going to stay on Nicole. Nicole goes to meet with her father. We learn that she's the daughter of immigrants. Though she's messy, you could tell that she's extremely grateful and has inherited a work ethic from having parents who were immigrants, came here young and with nothing, and really worked hard to attain all that they have. She didn't go to college and take the path her parents wanted her to take, but she is incredibly successful from doing social media. She's an influencer. She's looking to transfer from social media like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter over into YouTube so that she can get a little more stable with her income, because social media is up and down. That's why I prefer YouTube. It may take a little longer to monetize, but I'm willing to do the work. I enjoy what I do, and I'd rather deal with YouTube than deal with social media. It just feels a little more toxic, even though I guess YouTube is social media. But y'all know what I mean. Nicole seems really appreciative of her parents. They did a great job raising her. They want her to move home, but she appreciates living on her own. She is proof that you can grow up with money and still come out grateful, still come out a person with empathy, still come out a person that's humble and appreciates what they have with a strong work ethic. So great job to Nicole's parents. It was really strange to see how great she was, though, with her dad, and then how shallow and problematic she was with her friends. But beggars can't be choosers. I'm going to let it go. Now, before we get to the party, because we get to the night of the party, Nicole decides to tell Gemma before the party starts that Emma feels and believes that Gemma prank called her behind Dylan. And I'm like, Nicole, there's no reason to tell her that. Then she makes it seem like, because I want you guys to just get it out and move past it. No, baby, you was being messy. You was being messy. You was being messy. If they are not dating anymore, there was no reason to tell her what Emma said. Just like there was no reason for you to tell Emma what Gemma said. Like, you just being messy, and I hope they watch it back and see it, because she's doing the most. Now, Gemma is obviously our party girl. Gemma got drunk quick. I don't know if these kids are 21 either. And I feel like such an old lady saying this. I'm only 34, but I was thinking like, yes, I was drinking and smoking at 16, 17, but I would never encourage kids to do it. And now looking back, I'm like, my God, I see why people had a problem with it. I see why you got to wait till you're 21 to drink. Because Gemma looked like she got pissed drunk real quick. And I'm wondering how old she really is, because it was given childish. But she's drunk and stumbling, goes to the bathroom, and has now decided, now that she has the liquid courage, that she's upset at Emma for saying she prank called her. She's like, why would I do that? I just feel like Gemma is a lot. And the way that she reacted tells me that maybe you did do this prank call, girl, because don't nobody just act this way. But Emma comes to the party. She brings a bottle. She's nice. She gives good energy, says hello, and greets Gemma. And there wasn't a problem until Jody asked if Gemma and Dylan pulled up together, because Gemma and Dylan did pull up together. They discussed it, but Emma made it very clear that she and Dylan arriving to the party together like they were not a date. They was just kicking it. It seemed like they trying to figure it out, but it seemed like Emma don't really want to attach to Dylan, probably because of his reputation for being a hoe. But Jody, you didn't have to ask that question, girl. You real messy. But Gemma and Suede, in my opinion, at this party, like their mindset is still stuck in high school. They were very immature, especially Suede. You could tell Suede is just like, I'm for the woman. I'm going to stand up for the woman. Well, I'm all for women too, but sometimes the woman is wrong. You don't know what's going on with this Gemma and Dylan situation. All I know is nobody's stories are matching up. And that the only thing that everybody can seem to agree on is that Dylan is a 304. I'm just saying. But we see Hersey is at this event, and he says that him and Emily, the best friend of his ex, have been friends for over a decade. And because of that, it seems like he wants to get into a relationship with her because he thinks it could actually go somewhere positive. It also kind of seemed, and I know Kimura probably watched this back and was mad, it seems like he doesn't view their relationship as something legit. He kind of views it as like kitty or play love. I'm looking at Hersey and I'm kind of like, what are you doing? Like, it's giving Romeo from Growing Up Hip Hop. It really is. Like, if you like this girl, go for this girl. Talk to her friend, since y'all are still in the same group. If you can hang out while broken up, I'm sure you could talk to her about this. But like, if you want the girl, then tell her you want her. Like, stop tiptoeing around the bullshit. Like, I don't understand why he's doing that. But we see Sway confront Dylan about all of these things that he's allegedly said and done to Gemma. And Dylan told that girl that Gemma was just a midnight snack. I said, oh my God. And of course, Gemma confronts him on it. I'm like, why are you confronting him on it if you're not together? Why did you invite him over to get into all of this drama? And She really didn't get anywhere. He just kept being disrespectful with his little snarky remarks. And Dylan's really not as cool as he seems. This is like, if he was in any other setting, like, he really wouldn't be that cool. But these girls are young and dumb, so I guess that's just what it's going to be. Meanwhile, while Gemma is doing all this confronting, Nicole admits to Emma that she told Gemma things so that Emma, and Gemma could work stuff out. But Emma's looking at Nicole and it's like, she don't trust her, which I can agree. I wouldn't trust Nicole either, because there was no reason to pass that information on. It just seems like you passed information on to feed a messy scene, knowing that everybody was coming together. Like, Nicole, don't be sloppy with your mess, girl. Please do not be sloppy. But Dylan explains to the group, because he feels like he's being attacked by all these women. He's like, he was minding his business, and he said, Gemma said that she wanted to have a conversation with him, and he told her to spit it. And somebody said, don't tell her to spit. Don't talk to a woman like that. I said, not that sensitive bullshit. And he said, you're right. She doesn't spit. She swallows. I said, you know what? He ain't shit, but that was a funny response. That was a funny response. Of course, they're all upset. And I'm looking at Gemma like, this is not your man. This is your ex. You have no reason to be upset. You should have known from this man being the hoe of Calabasas, as y'all describe him, as somebody who took your virginity and then told everybody about it and had them calling you Bloody Mary. You should have known that you were not going to get anywhere with him. He does not care if you're mad. He's not interested in you. And Gemma is looking a little kooky because this man does not seem too interested in her. It seemed like he'll play a game with her just because he's toxic, but he really don't seem interested in Gemma for real. From episode 1, Gemma looked a little crazy. She looked a little crazy. And so did Nicole, because Nicole started all of this drama at the party. And then the episode pretty much ends from Nicole feeling like her nerves are bad from all of the beef. I said, not your nerves bad from the shit that you started. Not your nerves bad after you done started all of this stuff, young lady. Now your nerves is bad? I just cannot. I cannot. Let me know how you guys felt about this episode. Somebody had recommended that I cover this show. I always try to cover what the subscribers recommend. If you guys like the show, if you're watching it, let me know. If you're not watching it and all of that, suggest something else. I'm totally open to cover other things. It's definitely given Laguna Beach, like before they got to the hills, maybe the seasons after they graduated and they were trying to figure it out. But, I have a lot of shows that I'm going to be covering. Love After Lockup, This Is Polly, Nemesis. I'm covering The Shy. Going to be adding 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day The Last Resort, Raising Kanan next week. So I have a lot that I'm covering, so I'm sure that there's something for everybody. Do me a favor before you leave. Please like the video. If you enjoyed what we do, consider subscribing to the channel. You are greatly appreciated. I also encourage you guys to tap in with the links in the description of this video. There are links to creators that are often my co-host on my channel or that I help co-host on their channel, and other great Black creators who are talented, such as those who do music like Oh So Best or Naima Travels. But other than that, I thank all of you beautiful people for watching this review. Comment your opinions on Calabasas Confidential, and I'll see you for the next live. Adios.